Ooh, hello. Are you guys able to hear me? Hang on.
Now let me switch it up.
Love It Hip Hop Atlanta is back.
Hold on.
And this season,
You got perform? Yeah.
Oh, hello. All right. Looks like we're live. One moment. Hello, Bradley. One second. I'm just getting everything all set up here real quickly. This is my first time ever doing a live stream, so hang on. Oh, there we go. Got the little camera up there. Hey, how's it going, guys? Just give it a little bit of time for a couple of people to join. Oh shit, Watcher. Good to see you, man. How you doing? Alright. So yeah, basically I'm just gonna be animating here while I stream. It's probably gonna be a pretty boring thing, but figured this would be a fun little way to get some more engagement. Oh, it looks like some more people are starting to join. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Yeah, so I figured this would be just like a fun little thing to do while I animate. If you guys want to ask some questions, feel free. If you guys just want to hang out, by all means, just feel free to do whatever you want to do. Hello, hi. Feel free to ask any questions. I'm an open book, but right now, basically what I'm working on is this shot for Cybertron Falls Till All Are One. It is of Ultra Magnus and Cup, and I can't reveal what they're doing. It's kind of a little bit of a spoiler, but I'm going to be animating it, and I can't exactly reveal where it is, but this will give you guys a little bit of a chance to get some insight into how I do things. So, one. Thank you. So yeah, here's kind of what I have going on right now. Literally,
tell me, Cup. Tell me, Cup.
yeah, these projects take quite a long time to do, especially because I tend to do a lot of the animation in addition with a few other animators for this one. But for the previous films, I did handle a bulk of the animation on those, and so when you're animating by hand, they kind of take a little while to turn out well. Oh, thank you. So yeah, right now, pretty much what I'm doing is just having Magnus here. I kind of messed up this set. The control panels are all the way over here, and but the way the camera's angled, you don't really see that. So I'm kind of just simulating him, pretending fake pressing buttons, because that's kind of the name of the game when it comes to 3D animation. You're really just animating to the camera. So, oh, thank you. Yeah, we really try to improve upon the designs for every single model. For each film, we kind of try to take the feedback from each installment that we put out, and then we try to uh, take that and improve upon it with the next one. How do you do the textures for the robot? So I actually do all of the texturing inside of Blender. I literally just have, it's kind of a mixture of procedural textures, and let me actually show you guys the node group I have here. So let's see if I can do is this gonna render or is this gonna crash on me? Give it a moment just to load. Huh. For some reason the lights don't seem to be in there. Okay, so this kind of see the textures a little bit better here. I gotta keep that in mind. I need to add the lights there. I thought I added those in, but I guess they must have disappeared or something. But here is kind of the standard node setup for my robots. So if we zoom in here, this is kind of your base shader. It's kind of a mess. I'm not really good at organizing my nodes whatsoever. But here you have your sort of base shader. That's going to be the blues and like a mixture of the blacks and stuff. And I have a noise texture plugged into that to disperse that throughout. And then I created this custom roughness texture that I can dial in the roughness of each character, all the shiny bits. So if you kind of, hang on, let me see if I can zoom in here. So you can kind of see it right here. It's the shinier bits and stuff. That's kind of what I have driving all of that. And then I have a custom node group for the scratches and stuff. So all the little scratches and dings throughout the models, I have something running that. And then I have a mix shader with my own custom edgeware node as also. Edgeware is kind of when the sides of the robot, kind of where you see the paint sort of starting to mix. As you can see, I can control how much I want. I believe I had it at 0.03. So yeah, I can kind of control how much I want. I can control the detail. I can control the contrast, the roughness, all that jazz. See, so get a little bit less detail on the paint there. And then after that, we have another mix shader running this. For this is just for Magnus specifically, but we have another mix shader for all these like gray dings and all that jazz. Approximately how much does it take to animate a film like this? It takes a lot of work. I believe I would say it takes around like 2 years worth of work, just like really dialed in, locked in, and just going to town on the animation. It's about 2 years or so. Do you paint custom masks for better control for some of the weather? It depends. For some of the models, I have done that. But I find on models like this where it's as complex as these ones, it's kind of easier just to do a more procedural edgeware. But it depends on what I'm working on. Sometimes I have done that in the past, though. I believe with our Optimus Prime non-upgraded mode, we actually had a mask for all of the edgeware nodes. I don't have that on this current system, that model to pull up for you guys, but yeah, we did run something like that. I'm partial to Substance Painter for custom mask, using Designer for more procedure. Yeah, those are really, I haven't messed around with either of those programs, I'm gonna be completely honest. I've kind of only done all of my work inside of Blender ever since I started using it. But I wanted to look into using Substance Painter specifically for creating textures and stuff, but I just didn't want to pay the money for that, if I'm being completely honest. That'd be cool if that got included in the... That's Adobe, right? I believe that should be included in the Adobe subscription, though. That'd be really cool if they did that. Okay. Alright, time to lock in now. Yeah, so this is usually a basic layout I have going for my 3D animations. I'll usually have the shot right here, and I'll have a window for the audio for me to animate to. My cats are being assholes to each other. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was Adobe now. I didn't know if it was. I was actually curious about that, if it was always Adobe, because I don't remember it always being Adobe. But that answers that. I didn't know that. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and shut off my camera actually, because I tend to get a little bit camera shy. So when you hire voice actors, uh, I'm a voice actor myself and a big Transformers fan. So it kind of just depends on. By the way, thank you very much. But it really depends on whenever we have a film in production. Usually, we do all the voice casting at the very, very start of production once we have the script all written out. For this film, this is going to be the final film, and our final Transformers content for a good little while. We kind of want to branch out into some more exciting original content. Really flex our creative animation muscles.
You ever seen anything? Tell me, Cup. You ever seen any? Tell me, Cup. You ever?
Uh, Tetrapixel, I actually just answered that. I actually do all of my texturing inside of Blender. I don't do any of my texturing in any external painting softwares. So, but I do want to try. I was actually just saying to I forget who it was, but I was just saying that I want to try Substance Painter at a certain point, just so that way I can play around with it a little bit. But I haven't had a chance to actually get my hands on it.
Tell me, Cup. You ever seen it?
Oh no need to say sorry. I was just saying that what was it? That was just like something that I literally just was talking about. But no need to say sorry, man.
Tell me, Cup. You ever seen anything? Tell me, Cup. You ever seen anything like this? Tell me, Cup. You ever seen anything like this?
No, I have not ever used Source Filmmaker. Actually, didn't even know what Source Filmmaker was for the longest time. I kind of just dove right into Blender, but I know a lot of artists who got their start in Source Filmmaker. I believe Watcher actually got his start in Source Filmmaker animating. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it's a pretty good program to actually get started with animation. I think from what I heard, it's makes it fairly easy to pick up animation pretty quickly.
Tell me, Cup, you ever seen anything like this? Tell me, Cup, you ever seen anything like this? Tell me, Cup, you ever seen anything like this?
I apologize if this is the most boring stream. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, hang on. Let me go ahead and... How do I do this? Why is this not working? Okay. There we go. Thank you so much for the $2, man. Well, how we usually do the voice casting process, we usually do one large voice casting thing all at once. So feel free to submit an audition next time we post one, man. Would love to hear it. Yeah, and also we're usually pretty open to accepting voice reels. People will send me voice reels all the time, and so if you ever want to submit a voice reel by chance or send one in, just look us up on Instagram, the Name Brain Company, shoot me a DM, and I will be more than happy to take a listen.
Tell me, Cup, you ever seen anything like this?
I want to start doing more streams like this too, by the way. I'm thinking about making this like a weekly thing where I just animate and sit down and talk with all you guys and just kind of hang out. Make it a really chill animation session. Let me see how the other render is going on frame 55. I don't know why that this specific... I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Oh, it's starting to freeze on me a little bit. Let's see how the stream is doing. How many people are watching this right now? Oh shit, 9 people. That's cool. 10 people now. Nice. I already saved this file. I'm just gonna go ahead and cancel this. I was rendering something and I was trying to work on another file while I was rendering and it was just not having it. Oh, thank you, man. I'll go ahead and give you a nice little like. Thank you so much. How about this? Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and create a little. I want to mess around with these. We'll do a little super chat goal. If we're able to get 10 super chats for $5. I don't know how long to make this, so let's go over the course of an hour. I'll show you guys a scene from Cybertron Falls. I'll show you a little sneak clip. Alright, goes live. Let's see how that goes. I want to mess around with that. See how these things work. Thank you so much, by the way, for the super chat, though. That was very kind of you.
Tell me, Cup, you ever seen anything like this?
Alright, time to move on to animating Cup. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and try adding in. I'm trying to see what happened to the light. I think I accidentally deleted it. Go ahead and add just a quick light here. How hard is it to weight paint and rig these models? Honestly, it's usually not that difficult. I tend to not be very thorough with my rigs. That's why there's a what do you want? What do you need? But that's why there's a shit ton of clipping throughout, because I'm not the best rigger when it comes to this. But usually with robots, it's actually pretty easy to rig, because you don't have to go in and weight paint it necessarily. What I usually do is I'll break up the model into all these different sections. So you can see I have like the upper bone here all broken up, all this stuff, the forearms and everything. And I have those just parented to the individual bones themselves. So it's not really a whole lot of weight painting going into these. And then also, all my rigs are quite literally just the Rigify add-on. Nothing too fancy.
Trust me, Magnus.
Hey, Malachi. How's it going, man?
Trust me.
Stream is going just swimmingly, man.
Trust.
Yeah, a lot of artists don't really use Rigify. I find it gets like a bad rep among Blender artists. Personally, I've never had an issue with it. So, thank you so much, dude. You are so kind. Shout out Black Hood. You're killing it, man, with the donations. I appreciate that. Yeah, I have a lot of constructive criticism for Galvatron's Revenge. I've been very vocal about it if you follow us on Twitter. But it's fine. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, honestly, none of my criticisms really come down to any of the models. The models are actually, like, the best part of that film. all of my criticisms are purely directed at the director and certain voice actor. So that's really cool. Um, I mean, even then, like, I still think the models themselves look pretty good. I think it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. I used Rigify or Rigacar. There's a Rigacar? I didn't even know that Rigify had made a car rig. I'll have to look into that. I've used a couple of car rigs that work pretty good. Um, but car rigs are just like weird. I feel like very rarely do they work the way that they're intended to work. I don't know. But I've had a couple here that in there that work pretty flawlessly, and it kind of just baffles me. I don't really know how they do it. Just oh, thank you so much again. Oh my gosh. What will be your next project after this? So after this, we have quite a few big projects in mind that we don't want to announce just yet. It kind of depends on how a few things play out, but it's not likely to be Transformers related because personally, I want to branch out creative wise. I want to be able to really flex my muscles, and this series has been really, really great at letting me to flex my creativity, but I kind of want to experiment around with more like organic 3D modeling, which is a little bit different from modeling robots, and so I think whatever we do next is it's gonna involve a little bit more like organic creature modeling is kind of what I want to get into, see if I can play around with it. You're not going to offend me. Those were made 10 years ago. Oh, well, that's good then. I'm glad that you have a good, what's it called again? A good head on your shoulders about it. Like I said, I personally, it was never the models that I had an issue with. It was more so coming down to like direction and stuff like that. But I'm glad that you have a good head on your shoulders about it, man. That's awesome. Oh, hey, man. Good to see you. Just thought I'd drop in, say Cybertron Falls is probably one of the best fan-made Transformers films I've watched in recent years. Oh, thank you so much, man. Oh, thank you very much. Models look great. Yeah, thank you very much. We're really trying to make it look the best it can be. The whole trilogy to be a huge success. There's a lot of hard work that went into these films. Oh, thank you so much, man. If you're working on your own IP, I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, no, thank you so much. That was so kind. Yeah, we worked really, really hard on this series, and so we're really, really glad with the fan reception to all of the films so far. It's really been super, super humbling. So thank you, man. I remember when I saw your first video in the series, I was looking for Transformers stop motion, found these, and I've loved them since. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I can. That means so much to hear because I can barely go back and watch the first film anymore. To be quite honest with you guys, like it's just kind of, I love seeing it for what it was, but it's so hard to go back and watch your previous works like that. Just like there's so many issues with it that I pick up on now. But thank you. Beast Wars rises when. I'm not gonna say when, but we do have a Beast War idea for a Beast Wars related project, but that would be way, way later down the line. But we want to, like I said, take a little short break from Transformers stuff for the time being after this film, but that doesn't mean we don't intend on returning to it at some point. So we'll see. If you don't want to do Transformers next, something more organic, I recommend Helldivers, but the Bugs Front. I'll have to look into that. I don't even know what. I'm not really sure what Helldivers is, to be quite honest. Is that a video game? I'm not a big gamer, so I'm probably sounding very stupid at the moment, but I'll have to look into that. Pretty sure one of those projects was a Ninja Turtle fan film. So the Ninja Turtles fan film, we had this. Since I get so many comments on it, we're basically shelving the initial concept that we had for that Ninja Turtles film. The initial idea we were kind of going for was like, kind of like a parody of the Batman, but with Ninja Turtles, kind of in a way that the original comics were a parody of Frank Miller comics. But upon years after, since then, I've kind of changed my tune on wanting to do that, and I want to do something a little bit different. Not saying that we're not going to do a Ninja Turtles thing at some point. I just think it's going to be very, very different than what we were initially pitching with that one. Oh, thank you. Have you ever created your own original Transformers characters? No. Honestly, I feel like I wouldn't be good at making my own Transformers character. I feel like it would be just kind of really stupid and come off as like I feel like it would just kind of come off weird if I ended up making it. I know a lot of people have made their own characters and they're always super cool, and I envy everyone who's able to like do that. I just don't think I'm the type of person who can create their own Transformers character and like pull it off and make it look cool. I feel like it would just kind of, I don't know. Maybe at one point I might experiment around with it, but I don't think I'd be very good at making my own character. If you think there are so many issues with the first one, what if you revisit it and make an anniversary edition? We have tossed around that idea about going back and like redoing the first film, kind of like doing like a remake and like making it, updating the graphics and everything. Because I literally made that on a like 2013 MacBook Pro. So we've thought about going back and updating all the graphics and stuff, but part of the thing that I think is like kind of charming with the series is just seeing my growth as an animator throughout all of them, and so that's been the one thing holding me back. But we've talked about doing something like that. You're also creating your own TMNT inspired series. Oh, cool. Oh, that's really cool. No, that'd be so sick. I love when fans actually get out there and actually try creating what they're just so passionate about. I think it would be really cool to see. What's your favorite part of the process and least favorite part of the process? I think my favorite part of the process is probably texturing. I kind of always have fun texturing. I feel like it's just always, I don't know. There's just something so satisfying about taking your 3D model and then finally giving it that final look to it. That just is so appealing to me. Sorry, my ADHD is going off the charts at the moment, seeing all the chat pops up also. But my least favorite part probably has to be just cutting the audio together for the scenes. It's just always such a boring process, and it's not fun. And then if it's a long scene, it's pretty time consuming. And this final film has a lot of really long dialogue scenes. Not not really long dialogue scenes, but there's a good amount of dialogue scenes in them, and they're just not fun to edit, to be honest. Are you at least making April white and red hair and a redhead in your series? I don't think it really matters, to be honest. I haven't really given it much thought of what April's gonna look like, but to be quite frank with you, I don't really think it matters one way or the other if she's white or black or Asian or anything. I think her race doesn't really play a pivotal role in her character, to be quite frank with you. That's just my personal opinion.
Trust me, Magnus.
Have you ever thought about submitting Cybertron Falls to any film festivals? I've thought about it, but I'm not sure what the legal. I don't know. I don't think it would get allowed into a lot of film festivals, specifically just because of the fact that it's Transformers and I don't own the property. I think it would just get denied from a lot of festivals on that front alone. But I've thought about it. We submitted War Within to a fan film festival and actually won a couple of awards. It won like best CGI in a fan film, but that was like just an online fan film festival. So it's not something like Sundance or something like that. But I'm not sure what the legal ramifications are for. I don't know what the legal ramifications are for submitting something of a film of a property that I don't own. For that series, we're not using other animals. I'd say more. And I'd say more, but don't want people stealing my ideas. Totally feel that, man. Totally feel that. But that sounds neat. Do you mean like? Well, I guess you don't really want to say more, but do you mean like no other mutants and like it's like mainly the foot, or? That'd be interesting. Let me fix a. Yeah, that makes sense. Was it? Yeah, no, I just never. Uh, in our draft for the TMNT film we were doing, April wasn't even a character in the film. It was actually like, it was gonna be basically just an adaptation of the first ever Turtles comic. And so April wasn't. April, Casey Jones, all of them weren't featured in that comic, so we didn't even have character designs for them, to be honest with you. Humans as heroes. Interesting. Interesting. That sounds really cool. Oh, is it not like TMNT, like, exactly? Is it, like, just inspired by it?
Trust me, Magnus. Trust me, Magnus. Trust me, Magnus. The last 2 days are all new to me. Trust me, Magnus. The la- The last few days.
It'll be like Street Sharks, the Mummies, Alive, Battletoads. Oh, okay, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I'll have to keep my eye out for that. That sounds sick. I wouldn't go back and remake the first movie if I were you because you're proud of your growth as a filmmaker. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, that's another thing that I really like looking back and seeing how far we've come.
The last few days are. The last few days.
Hey, man. My cat is currently hanging on my chair.
The last few days are. The last few days are. All.
Good. Let's see how the stream is going. Ooh. 13 people. Nice. How's everyone doing right now, though? You guys doing good?
This?
Trust me, Magnus. The last few days are all new to me. Days are all new to me.
Tell me, Cup, you ever seen anything?
Alright, now I'm going to show you guys a little trick that I do. So once you're like, this is kind of just
Tell me,
more
Cup,
or less the basic.
you ever seen
animation.
anything like this?
Trust me, Magnus. The last few days are all new to me.
So yeah, once you have that all laid out, you can go to your graph editor, select the bones that you want to add a little bit more movement to, and click noise and bring it up to like 24, 25, and then set it to like 0.1.
Tell me, Cup.
That's a little much, so how about 0.03?
You ever seen anything like this?
And then you just do that for the Z and X axis.
Trust me, Magnus. The last few days are all new to me.
Tell me, Cup. You ever seen anything like this?
Trust me, Magnus. The last few days are all new to me.
So yeah, just go through your armature and just add a little bit of noise.
Tell me, Cup.
Kind of
You ever
just
seen
helps
anything like this?
make your animation
Trust
look
me,
a
Magnus.
little bit more live.
The last few days are
Makes
all
it
new
feel
to
a
me.
little bit less stiff.
Tell me, Cup. You ever seen anything like this?
Gives them a little subtle movement.
Trust me, Magnus. The last few
Hang
days
out
are
idly. Yeah. That's something I usually do with all of my animation. That's why if you sometimes it's like pretty egregious. If you look at sometimes in some of the animations, there's like the characters are kind of just rocking back and forth, like almost aggressively. That's literally just the noise modifier.
all new to me.
Tell me, Cup. You ever seen anything like this?
Trust me, Magnus. The last few days are all new to me.
Tell-
So what got you into this animation stuff? Actually, I've always just loved animation. I got started in filmmaking and stuff doing stop motion when I was a kid. And what really got me
Tell me, Cup.
into
You ever seen
doing
anything like this?
animation is that I
Trust
just always
me,
loved
Magnus.
filmmaking, and I don't know any live action actors to work with. So you gotta work with what you can. And when I discovered CGI, it was kind of like what this little bit of a it was actually the Astartes fan film that got me really noticing that, like, oh, the technology's there to do like CGI at home. That's kind of crazy. And so that's really what got me into it.
The last few days are all
Hey, bro. Hope everything's good. Thank you, JPG Productions. Everything is good. I'm just hanging out at the moment. Thank you very much for joining. Excuse me. Love your Transformers movies. What movies or TV shows are you excited for this year? I'll have to pull up a list. I don't even know. I'm kind of out of the loop on when things are coming out. I don't know. I tend to not really watch trailers and stuff. I like to be surprised when I watch the movie. So half the time a movie will just like kind of sneak up on me, and I'm like, oh shit, that is coming out, and like it'll just already be out. Like Nosferatu, I knew Nosferatu was coming out for the longest time, and then out of nowhere, it just kind of dropped, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize it was out. And so let me see what's coming out this year. 2025 movies. All of these look like B-grade movies. I don't even know if this is the right list. Rotten Tomatoes. What's coming out this year? Ooh, I that Hard Eyes movie looked pretty good. I don't even know what is coming out in 2025. Like, I feel like I don't even know anything of. I guess the new Captain America. Actually, I am pretty excited for not necessarily the new Captain America movie, but I am pretty excited for the Thunderbolts. I don't know if that's coming out this year, but that actually looks like a lot of fun to me. Not entirely sure when that's coming out. The Monkey also looked pretty good. I'm a big horror movie fan, and that looked pretty good. But are those the only movies coming out? Like, what the fuck else is coming out? Wow, this is embarrassing. I genuinely don't know movies are coming out. Oh, the Minecraft movie's coming out this year? I'm not gonna lie, genuinely excited for that movie. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be so stupid, but I feel like that's gonna be the type of movie that like everyone's gonna hate on leading up to it, and then it's gonna come out and it's gonna be like serviceable, but then all of Twitter's gonna love it. That's what I think the Minecraft movie's gonna be. Oh, there's also Jurassic World 4, Superman, and oh, Fantastic Four is coming out this year. I didn't know that was coming out this year. I thought it was coming out next year. I'm looking forward to the new Jurassic World movie. I feel like I forget who's directing that, but I am looking forward to that. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. Superman, I'm cautiously optimistic for Superman, and it's more so because personally, I'm not a big fan of James Gunn when he just has like is allowed to go full balls to the walls. I've only ever really loved, and I like James Gunn's movies. But I've only loved his Guardians of the Galaxy movies, really, and those are like. I feel like he's a weird case of where like having restrictions on him kind of forces him to be more creative. And I feel like whenever he has like full creative control, it's just never, I don't know, it just never really hit for me personally. So I'm cautiously optimistic for his Superman. I need to wait to see more. I like the trailer, but I need to see more of the actual film itself before I make a judgment call on that one. Fantastic Four. I'm just looking forward to Pedro Pascal in that movie, to be honest. I'm not a big Fantastic Four guy in general. I don't really just like I don't hate them. I just don't really know a lot about the Fantastic Four, to be honest. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the Fantastic Four. I kind of want to see more of it. I saw the leak of Galactus, and that shit looked pretty cool. But I don't know. What else? Daredevil Born Again. Okay. I was excited for Daredevil up until I read that like the showrunner thought like the dialogue bits of the original show were boring. And then it kind of that's where I really got worried. But like all the trailers and stuff look really sick. But I'm holding out hopes. But is Galactus a giant death cloud? No, he's like Galactus. Like Galactus. Like that's kind of sick. I don't know about you. I apologize. I don't speak Spanish. I wish I could answer your questions though. Dude, I love slasher movies. I'm a huge slasher movie fan. I love the 80s ones. Oh, dude, same. I love slasher movies. What was it? A Nightmare on Elm Street? Literally my favorite horror movie of all time. can you show us something of Cybertron transformation? So I don't have any animations right now to show for one of our transformations. So I work off of two computers, and the one I'm streaming off of right now is just my laptop. But uh, what was it? All of the transformation stuffs are on my desktop currently. But we really did try to step up our game with the transformation sequences this time around, so we're really excited to show them to you guys. I've also been working on my own. Oh, dude, you are just way too kind with the donations, man. I appreciate you so much. I've also been working on my own slasher movies. That's so sick. That's so sick. I think slasher movies really need to make a comeback. I miss the. I feel like we don't have any good slasher movie icons. Like that really did peak in the 80s. I feel and Scream. But that's really about it. You saw Nosferatu. What do you think? Dude, I absolutely love Nosferatu. I I think Nosferatu really spoke to me. You know, that movie just really appealed to me. I love everything about that movie. I love how like melodramatic everything is. I love the gothic romance elements of it. I love the gothic horror elements. I love Aaron Taylor Johnson's just like Aaron Taylor Johnson in that movie gets so much like I feel like people have a love-hate relationship with him like whether or not he's doing a good job. But I just love how just like so stereotypical like oh British he is. I don't know. I think that's so funny. I've just rewatched the movie and he's like he is every single scene he's in, he literally laughs like that too. He laughs like a stereotypical British person. He's like oh, and it's so funny. It's so funny. I'm currently writing my own scripts. And when it comes to be, I'll have a comic before a movie. Speaking of good characters, I will have final guys instead of final girls. And my villains will be female too. I gotta make them stand out too. You know, that's actually really interesting. I actually have thought about like the idea of like a final guy versus a final girl. Because like that's usually the trope of slasher movies that there's a final girl. And so, I don't know, that actually sounds like it'd be pretty interesting. I'd love to see what you do with that. Are there any plans after Cybertron Falls, such as spin-offs, etc.? Holy crap. Thank you so much for the donation, man. That is so sick. That is so awesome. It's okay. Is the scene of Unicron in planet mode getting closer to the camera a part of his transformation? Asking because of the moving parts. Sorry for my bad English. I speak Spanish. Dude, do not apologize at all. That was perfect English. That was incredible English. Thank you so much for the donation, by the way. That's so his I'm assuming you're talking about in the trailer. So that is actually the camera getting closer to Unicron, and yes, that is a part of his transformation. So thank you so much for asking. But that sequence is gonna be such a huge highlight. That was done by the guy who did. He goes by Dracius on Twitter, but he's the guy that made the Rise of the Beast fan Unicron animation. And if you haven't checked that out, you've got to. He is by far the guy when it comes to Unicron stuff. So that's why that sequence looks so good, and in my opinion, it looks visually better than the rest of the film. I'll be completely honest. He really killed that sequence. I like it. It trumps anything I've ever done. It's so funny how he was in the best and worst movies of December, Nosferatu and Craven. Honestly, I have never seen, outside of the Venom movies, I've never seen any of the Sony Spider-Man films, and I really want to. Oh, let me love this comment. And I really want to see them, because I think they'll be so funny. I think that'd be a really fun watch through. What are your favorite slasher or your favorite slasher movies from the 80s? So my all-time favorite is Nightmare on Elm Street, and then after that, in my second all-time favorite is gonna be Halloween. I know it's 70s technically, but um, I count them as like in the same vein as things. And then past that, I'm not a big Jason fan really, but I love me some Chucky, big Chucky fan. Um, and then past that, I would have to really give it a lot of thought. What I would give the last two in my top five, but top three is like definitely Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, and then Chucky. Those are my favorite guys. Those are my guys. I like Burning, Madman, Maniac, My Bloody Valentine, and other underrated slasher movies from the 80s. Damn, so you're like a hardcore slasher fan cuz like I don't know what Burning and Madman is. I've definitely I haven't seen My Bloody Valentine or Maniac, but I have heard of them. Damn, those are good. That's a good list. I like watching really underrated slashers that get slept under the rug. That makes sense. Yeah, I was gonna say those are really obscure slasher movies. For the biggest franchise, I love Scream. Oh, Ghostface is definitely gonna be actually above. I'm gonna put Ghostface at above. He might be above Michael Myers for me. I love Scream. I love Scream. Scream 1 and Scream 4 are like some of my all-time favorite movies. Love Scream. I like Leatherface. I really like Leatherface as like a character. Um, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think it's like fine, and I understand why it's as impactful as it is. It just personally, it just didn't really appeal to me too much. But I think Leatherface is a cool ass character. And then past that, I don't really like any of his other. Uh, I haven't really liked any of his other. What's it called again? Movies. Everyone's coming back for Scream 7. It looks like it definitely looks like that. It's gonna be very interesting to. I mean, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I'm very biased towards Melissa Barrera. Love me, Melissa Barrera, and so everything that happened with her was really, really. It was like, I'm so torn because they're bringing back everyone for this final one, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of what happened with Melissa Barrera. But, yeah, I'm not sure.
Trust me, Magnus. The last few days are all new to me.
Why is that happening?
Tell me, Cup, you ever seen anything like this?
Trust me, Magnus. The last few
I don't know why that's happening right now.
2 days are all new to me.
Tell me, Cup, you
Why is his head bobbing back and forth? I don't get that.
ever seen anything like this?
that's why. Okay.
Trust me, Magnus. The last few days are all new to me.
Dang it, why is this happening? Let me catch up on these. Along with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Black Christmas also revolutionized slasher movies too. Yeah, it did. That it did. Who's your favorite character? Transformers character? My favorite is Optimus Prime Bumblebee. That's awesome. My personal favorite is Starscream. Love me some Starscream. That was one of the things we wanted to emphasize with War Within was really having Starscream just feel like an absolute menace. So that, yeah, no, that's gonna be my answer for that. I love Starscream. Ghostface was so popular they added Billy and Stu in Mortal Kombat, and he still got the voice and the charisma that makes them Ghostface. Oh, that's so sick. I don't play a whole lot of Mortal Kombat. I've only played a little bit of Mortal Kombat 11, but that's so sick. I love when they add those characters to those games, though. I think they always look really, really cool. The voices are so good. Thank you so much. Yeah, the voice cast that we have is next level stellar. I'm so happy with all of the work everyone's been putting into here. So it's I could not be more happy with the way this film is turning out. I'm surprised that Ghostface in the franchise were never called. I consider it a missed opportunity. I mean, you never know. You never know. It seems like they were kind of building towards something like that in the next film. But Scream's one of those franchises that's like, I feel like it's really hard to branch outside of the box with that because it has such a set way of each film, how each film plays out. But yeah, Screamer is probably my favorite G1 season 1 con doctors. Maybe Wheeljacks. Top bot for me. Oh. Okay, I misread that at first. Okay, that's cool. I don't have a G1 Wheeljack, but I do have a G1 Starscream, and I have two actually, and that's my pride and joy right there. I love G1 Starscream. How long have we been streaming for? I think like been streaming for about an hour, I think. 45 minutes? Okay. How about I answer a few more questions and then we go ahead and call it a night here. I think this was a good little test run stream. I want to run these more often. How long did it take me to get this good at animation from when I started? I don't even think I'm really that good, to be quite honest. But basically it took me about as long as the films have been going on. I was doing some animation right before like we started the series, but Cybertron Falls was really my like first full experience with animating things on this scale. Do you collect Transformers figures too? Not really. Usually there are some cool figures that I would love, but usually I just can't ever really justify the price. The only things that I do collect are the G1 figures. I've been on a mission trying to collect the G1 figures. I'm trying to get a G1 Megatron at the moment. That's really the only time I can really justify spending those types of prices on a figure. But I'm not a huge figure collector in general, to be honest. okay, we've been streaming for about an hour and 18 minutes. All right, let's just go for like 5 more minutes and then we'll cut it. When you start modeling, do you block out the shapes with primitives? Yeah, usually that's what I'll do. Is like I'll start with blocking out the general shape with primitives, and then I'll set that to like a wireframe mode, and then from there, I will start building out the model. And I usually start with like the outer shell of the model, so like the parts you actually see, like the chest, the shoulders here, everything, and then once that's all modeled, I'll go in and make the internal details and stuff. How's the mic quality, by the way? I don't really use this mic often, but let me know how it's sounding. Oh, cool. I always want to know because I never use this mic really. Alright. So I guess I'll show you guys a little bit how I go about doing the mouth animations. So typically what I do is for the mouth animations, I don't actually rig the mouths themselves. I do what is called shape keys, which is pretty much when so you'll set like a base shape. So that's going to be like how the model just looks as is. And then you'll establish another key, and then from there you can kind of shape the face. It's a really old school way of doing things, but you kind of shape the face based on that. So now his mouth is open, it's closed. And then we have like rigs and you can set it up as an actual rig. I'm just not good at rigging, so this method ended up being the easiest for me in the long run, to be honest. And we also have like eyebrow for angry face, sad face, blinking, the whole 9 yards.
Tell me, Cup, you ever seen anything like this?
Trust me, Magnus. The last few days are all new to me.
Tell me, Cup, you ever seen anything?
Um, the typical workflows, honestly, I don't really have like a set workflow for things, but usually how we go about doing it is that first I'll write the scripts, obviously, and then from there we will gather all the assets that we need, and usually that requires me like either modeling or finding free assets online to like for example these little machine bits right here. These were all kit bashed from online kits that are specifically made to do stuff like that. And then once we're done with that, then we go about casting and recording all the lines. And once the lines are all edited, that's when we can begin the animation process. And then when it comes to like working with other animators, it kind of depends. Usually, I will be handling full-on scenes and passing off certain sequences to certain animators, and that has allowed us to sort of maintain like quality control over everything. And like once they're all done with their animations, they'll pass it back to me, and then I'll place it into a scene, add the lighting and everything. Or in the case of like some of the Unicron sequences, depending on the artist's specialties, I will have them handle full-on sequences. But for the most part, and then for when I'm doing that, I will try to get them some sort of like a storyboard or something, or an animatic of sorts to have something of like a reference to work from. When it comes to, wait, if you could make a film besides Transformers, what would you make? I would probably, I'm assuming, so I'd probably would make some type of a horror film, to be honest. I feel like that's really my second favorite genre outside of sci-fi, and I would love to make a horror movie. Um, but for like other properties, um, we've always wanted to do a Ninja Turtles thing, so that would probably be on the cutting block. And then um, later down the line, we do have other plans for Transformers that we don't want to do like immediately after Cybertron Falls. It's more so like way later down the line. But yeah. Um, did you guys develop concept art, illustrations for the characters, and set designs? No. I'll be completely honest. I just kind of like freeballed a lot of the designs. I would pull inspirations from like other designs that I found online, um, but for the most part, a lot of the designs I just had an idea, uh, and for a design, and I just kind of would start going for it. So that's why the proportions are pretty wonky and stuff. And then when we started bringing on other artists, oh, there he is, Dracius. I was just talking about you, man. I was just saying how you absolutely killed it on the Unicron sequences, and how it's gonna be an absolute jaw dropper of a sequence for all the fans. We're so excited for you guys to see those. Um, what was I saying? Shit, I lost my train of thought. All right. Well, hang on. Let me try remembering what. But in terms of concept art, we usually just go right for the actual design and like try to find inspiration to work from. We love horror films. You ever considered doing something with Star Wars related? Not really. Because I feel like Star Wars is a little bit overplayed, and I feel like there's not really a whole lot that I could bring to like a Star Wars film. Particularly because I feel like Cybertron Falls already takes so much inspiration from Star Wars that it really does a lot of what I probably would have done with Star Wars, to be honest. Really cool. I once saw a concept art of steampunk Transformers, which looks amazing. I think I know which concept art you're talking about, and those did look super cool. Um, if you do plan on making a new Cybertron Falls sequel trilogy, who would be the big villain of choosing? Um, so I think we would do a little bit differently the next go around. I don't want to give away too much, but we do have plans for like a Beast Wars film. And in that, we wouldn't have a big bad necessarily in the same vein of like Unicron. It would be more so like a smaller scale threat. So it's like probably something along the lines of like Megatron being much more of a prominent threat. Um, Something along those lines. That's a really good question, though. Oh yeah, Dracius is also he's the guy that made the Rise of the Beast fan Unicron animations that went blew up on Twitter. So you guys really have to check out his work if you guys haven't already. It's fantastic. Do you like the Star Wars prequels? I like the third one. I tried rewatching them recently, actually, and the episode 1 and 2 are really hard to sit through. But the third one is still always going to hold a special place in my heart. By an artist named Brian Kissinger. Kissinger. Oh, cool. Oh, I think actually TFI did a steampunk Transformers film recently, if I do remember correctly. Can't remember. Yes, please keep an eye out for Dracius's series that he has working on at the moment. It is he's been showing us some of the concept arts and stuff that he's been putting together behind the scenes for that, and that series is gonna. If you loved Transformers 1, it's very similar style and it's so sick. So keep an eye out for that announcement because it's gonna be incredible. But I think that's gonna pretty much call it for tonight, guys. I think this is a pretty good place to call the end of the stream. Good hour and 30 mark. Thank you guys so much for joining. Didn't reach our goal, but it's okay. Maybe one of these days. I'm gonna try it again next time, but this was a lot of fun. Hoping to do this maybe like once a week or so. Just start live streaming while I animate, answer some questions, and just kind of hang out with you guys. But, alright. Let me figure out how to do this. Alright. Catch you guys later.